Coming up, a review of the book Travels in India, Volume 2, written by Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, translated and edited by Valentin Ball. Namaste friends, my name is Shri Subramanian Payamal and you are listening to Histology Podcast. Before I proceed, a full disclosure. This book was bought with pound money and not been provided to me by the publisher. Little bit about the author. Jean-Baptiste Tavernier was a 17th century French gem merchant and traveller. Tavernier, a private individual and merchant travelling at his own expense, covered, by his own account, 60,000 leagues, that is 120,000 miles, in making 6 voyages to Persia and India between the years 1630 and 1668. Tavernier's writings show that he was a keen observer as well as a remarkable cultural anthropologist. His 6 voyages became the bestseller and was translated into German, Dutch, Italian and English language during his lifetime. The work is frequently quoted by modern scholars writing about the period. The book has been translated and edited by Valentin Ball, a 19th century geologist and Orientalist. Let me read a brief description of the book. Quote, the author's name, owing to its frequent mention in histories and in works on precious stones, has long been known as that of one of the most renowned travelers of the 17th century. Possibly it would not be incorrect to speak of him as in some respects the most renowned traveler during that period when so much was done to bring home to the people of Europe information about countries which had previously been but little known. Such being the case, it is not only somewhat surprising that there should be so much error in the published accounts of his life, but also that his travels, although they have been frequently issued in various languages, have not, as a whole, been subjected to critical examination and elucidation with the aid of our modern knowledge of the countries which they describe. In the present volumes, it is sought to present an approximately literal translation of the portions of the travels which refer to India, accompanying it by such identifications of localities with modern sites and such elucidation of obscure points as have been possible. This book contains one portrait of the author and 4 illustrations. Unquote. Volume 2 focuses largely on Tavernier's dealings in diamonds and precious stones, giving readers an insider's view of commerce in the Mughal Empire, Golconda, Bijapur and his journey to the mile of Ramallah Kota. The author describes in detail how fraud was practiced in manufactures, whether by the roguery of the workers or the knavery of the brokers and buyers. Tavernier talks about the different kinds of weights for weighing diamonds at the mines, the kinds of gold and silver in circulation, the routes by which one is able to travel, and the rule in use for the estimation of prices of diamonds. The author also describes in fairly graphic detail the practice of sati by giving several examples of women being burnt after the death of their husbands. Tavernier also talks about how he finds it astonishing that the idolaters of India, that is the Hindus, in spite of being so numerous that for one Mohammedan there are 5 or 6 of Gentiles, they have allowed to be subjected to by so small a number of persons and has bent readily under the yoke of the Mohammedan princes. But the astonishment ceases when one considers that Hindus have no union among themselves. Tavernier takes us through the journey in the northeastern parts of India and then to places like Bhutan, Thailand, Taiwan, Sri Lanka, Indonesia and finally embarking on a Dutch vessel in order to return to Europe by sea. As the author says in the final chapter, my first thoughts on finding myself in Paris on the return from my 6th journey were to return thanks to God for having preserved me during the space of 40 years among so many perils which I had run by sea and land in regions so distant. And finally, the appendices talks about the true history of the Kohinoor diamond, the Grand Duke of Tuscany's diamond, on the weights of some of the diamonds and other precious stones and pearls mentioned by Tavernier. He also lists all the diamond mines of India, including diamond mines of Bengal and also diamond mines of Borneo, the ruby mines of Burma and the sapphire washings of Ceylon. Conclusion. Travels in India, Volume 2 is highly recommended for those interested in knowing more about the exciting journey of Tavernier in India and the adjoining countries. I give this book 4.25 out of 5. The book is available in paperback and hardcover formats. At the time of recording this review, it is not available in Kindle or Audible formats. I have given the respective buy links in the show notes. Please check them out for the latest prices. Last but not the least, thank you for spending a valuable time listening to this review. Really grateful. Please don't forget to subscribe to Histology Podcast on your favorite podcasting app and also feel free to leave a review. Also, please check histology.com for all previous episodes. Thanks and looking forward to hearing from you. Take care and bye.